All right. So, welcome back to another edition of Taxi Cab Stories. And the one I'm going to give you today all happened all on one Saturday during a Saturday night during a whole 6 hour run. So, it was roughly, would I say, close to 8 o'clock, and get a call, and it's go pick up somebody over on in our kind of a beside our state capital, and call get there, call and go, hey, this is blah blah, I'm outside, here to pick you up. Oh, okay, I'm on my way out, and I have to hurry and get to work. Same story, different day. So she comes in and she proceeds to say, I got to get to Amanda's place. Amanda's place is like the strip club version of a dive bar. And so we hit the highway and we're proceeding to drive down there, and she's telling me how she really hates her boyfriend because he's always getting in trouble and she's always having to bail him out by stripping, and she hates being in Oklahoma, and how the Oklahoma guys really don't tip that well, and every day that he's not in jail, he's basically trying to be her pimp, and he's trying to collect all the money and try to set her up with private shows and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, she wished she can go back to Vegas because at least in Vegas, she could make thousands of dollars in one night. And I'm just like, okay. And then she's just like, and he's not doing it right. And it's like, okay. And she's proceeding to talk about how her boyfriend, when he goes down, he's not performing the act correctly. And it's like, whoa. That's too much information for someone who you just met maybe 10 minutes ago that doesn't really know you, that you're going to give them all this information. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't be telling you this. But then she proceeds to continuously to go in and detail on how he performs the act. And it's like, okay, maybe you should be telling him that's not how you like it. But then she's like, he only does it whenever he knows he's in trouble or he's done something that is terrible, like taking all her money and blowing it on weed or whatever. So go and get her to work. She hands me the tip, hands me the fare, and she's going, well, you should come in. It's very slow right now, so they don't charge at the door. And I'm like, nah, I have to get to work. I mean, kind of slow and needs money. She goes, all right. So she gets out of the car. Before I can even pull out, get another call. There's a group of people, there's a club, and happened to be another strip club here in the city. And it happened to be this other club that we have here in the South. And bouncer is calling for people to come pick up some folks. We get there, and there's this guy. He has to be close to 6'7", 6'8", pure muscle, look like a mountain, and he is proceeding to throw empty beer bottles at the bouncers and rocks and everything. And he's cussing and he's slurring and drooling everywhere. He is shit-faced drunk. And he is constantly yelling, I'm not getting anything. I'm not paying for anything. You can't make me. I just came for a show. I'm leaving in the morning. I fight for your freedom. And we're all like, okay. And just happened to be, I'm the only guy cab driver that showed up. And they go, well, we're not going to feel comfortable putting him in a car with a female. So, proceed to get this mountain into the back of the car. And the head bouncer waves me over, and he's like, Here's his ID. This is a current ID. And we don't know how much it's going to take to get there. But here goes $60. Just get him away from here. So, see the drive. And he literally lives close to about 10 miles away from here. You're looking at $2 a mile. So, made a $40 tip on getting this drunk. But as we're proceeding, he's going down and he's talking about how he should not have been kicked out. It was the stripper's fault because she was ragging and he didn't think she should have been working then. And I'm like, well, dude, not my call. I get called, pick you up, drop you off. That's all I do. So get him to his house and he gets out and he's walking up his little walkway and he falls face first. Spins around and just blood is just dripping down his face and he's just looking like, what the hell? I've just been beat up. And he proceeds to crawl up his little walkway and onto his porch and he just falls out right there. I decide, because I'm black, big old gigantic white guy, let me get the hell away. And I just took him to kind of a ritzy side of town. So, pull off, cleared my thing, start driving, and proceed down the street and get a new call. And it happens to be the Oklahoma City Police Department. They need to get a guy away from a situation because he got into an argument with his baby mama, and she is best friends with our brother or sister to a gang leader that we have here. And they were worried that this guy could be killed. So we needed to take him to one of our suburbs here to his parents' house, and that the parents was supposed to be waiting for him outside. And so one of the parents or him was gonna, one of the guy, somebody was gonna pay for the cab fare. So get the guy in, and he's proceeding to talk about how he went there, pick up his son, and she decided she was not gonna let him take his son that weekend because her brother was just gotten out of prison, and she wanted him to hang out with his uncle, and that daddy was going to get him, even though daddy has a court order that says he gets to see him, that he gets him that weekend and blah, blah. And he's like, this isn't cool. I want my son. You can't keep me from my son. And so he calls the cops. Cops show up, find out who everything is. And cops like, guy, just go home. Come back tomorrow. You figure it and work it out tomorrow. If you need, call the cops again, and we will help enforce your order. But tonight, just calm down, just leave, whatever. And he proceeds to talk about how he got everyone's badge number, and he's going to report them, and that they did not do their jobs by helping him get his son, and they threatened his life, and that should have been enough to get him arrested, and he's proceeding to angrily yell about how that's not right. So as I proceed up to his house, his parents' house, his dad's sitting on the porch with his shotgun. And dad is literally just sitting there and just loading his shotgun. And the guy gets out of the car and he shuts the door. And I'm like, hey, it's $25.50. And he's just like, cops should have to pay that damn thing, and I shouldn't have to pay. And I'm like, dude, it's not my beef. You don't have the beef with me. It's with whoever. And he's standing out there and he's just screaming, and out walks his mom. And his mom goes, what's wrong? And he goes, the cab driver's trying to make me pay, and I shouldn't have to pay. And the mom's like, well, how much is it? And he goes, it's $25, I think. The mom walks back inside her house, comes back out, and throws $30 at me and says, that's just not right how your city's doing. And I'm like, ma'am, I don't have any power over that. And all I know is I got called to come pick him up so he wouldn't be dead right now. Or he wouldn't get killed. And so she's like, well, thank you for bringing my son to my house. And she proceeds to storm off. And then I'm maybe a block and a half away, and our lovely dispatcher calls me, and he goes, hey, where'd you drop that guy off at? We had supposedly he's not at the right address, and blah, 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 and his mom is calling right now, and she's upset. And I'm like, I just dropped him off with his mom. I'm about a block away. And gave him the address, and they're like, no, that's his brother's house, and they're not. And I'm like, well, they paid me. He jumped out. After he cussed me out. That's all I know. And so they're like, well, if I was you, I'd get the hell away from there. So I'm going rest of the day, kind of just regular, picking people up from work, dropping them back off at home, taking them to the grocery store. And then I get a call from this restaurant. They're trying to close because it's close to holiday time, and they're trying to let their people go home early so they can go be with their families. And this guy refuses to leave the restaurant. They can't get him to leave the restaurant. The cops are there. Deputies are there. Everyone's telling them, you either get up and walk out or you're going to jail. And he goes, but I'm waiting for Colonel Patton. Patton is supposed to give me the orders on what I'm supposed to do next. And he is literally pounding the table monkey style. And he is really telling us how we are not going to make him leave no matter what until Patton shows up. So big officers go up, grab him, and he proceeds to wrestle these officers down, full out slamming them. And I proceed to start going, okay, well, I guess I'm not taking him. And the sergeant that's there, he's like, no, I think he's going to go with us. So as I proceed to walk off, he's yelling, well, just get me a cab and I'll go home. And y'all would never have to deal with me. And the sergeant's going, well, that was our option before. But you decided not to take this option. You decided you wanted to fight the officers. So that means you're going down. So 6 officers are all slamming this guy. They get him down. They get him cuffed. And he's sitting there and he is yanking on the cuffs. And you can hear the metal in the cuffs as they tear. And I proceed to go, all right, bye. Because I didn't have a feeling that once this guy breaks loose, he's going to take out everyone that's in the room. So I run, jump in my car, and peel off. So, we're going to end this one right here. Like I say, in all of them, enjoy life. And if you like this one, hit it with a thumbs up, subscribe, and if I get so many likes, I'll finish off the rest of my lovely weekend that weekend. So, like it up. Enjoy life.